Nigga, the strap. I'm strapped up.
Tevin, what was that about?
Let's make the fight happen. We strapped the fuck up.
Flows, yeah. We got to talk about what we saw, what transpired overnight, the fights that we caught. We caught 3 fights, I believe. It's only fair to start from the fight we first looked into.
Yeah.
Which was, friend of the pod, Derrick Osaze, against the guy's name's Sains. Is it Jimmy Sains?
Jimmy Sains, yeah.
I think Jimmy Sains. This was for the English middleweight, I believe, the 160 pounds, right? English middleweight title that Jimmy Sains currently holds. So obviously you were there rooting for Derrick. He was underdog for this one, and Flores, to be fair, I'm not familiar with Sains. I'm guessing you're not either.
Yeah, I knew he was the favourite. I knew he was the hometown favourite.
But did you know? I mean, had you seen him before?
I've never seen him before.
Never seen him before. Nah. I think he's from Essex. And you mentioned hometown favourite.
Yeah.
Boy, Derrick's name's read out. A couple of cheers. We're one. Very few cheers. We're one of them. And then Sains' name's read out, and the whole reader. By the way, this is the third to last fight, so it's not even one of the main. It's not the main or something. It's not the penultimate. But the arena, he had a lot of support there, boy. A lot of support. So we're there thinking, boy, it could be a long night for Derrick. But let's talk about the fight itself, Flows. I personally felt that Derrick acquitted himself really, really well.
Yeah.
He's an underdog. This Sains guy's undefeated. Derrick, I think, has had 3 losses?
3 losses.
3 losses, yeah. So obviously Sains is heavily favoured, but I'm watching the first couple of rounds, bro, and I'm liking what Derrick's doing. This Sains guy, to me, is looking like he's nothing special. I can see Derrick being the aggressor, trying to walk Sains down, and almost using bully tactics.
Yeah.
Trying to rough him up, trying to be first with his jab and his shots, and essentially to make it a bit ugly, which I don't think Sains liked, personally.
Yeah.
How did you see the first couple of rounds, bro?
Yeah, look, first time I'm seeing Sains, I know what Derrick does.
Yeah.
And yeah, he didn't like it. Sains was in hell for round 1, really and truly.
Yeah.
Derrick was investing to the body, which I liked. We saw Sains was trying to move.
Yeah.
And Derrick quickly adjusted to that and started working the body.
Good.
And was going to the body, then going back upstairs. Yeah. So body upstairs. And Sains couldn't really cope. And then Derrick was really pinning him to the ropes.
Yeah.
And like you say, roughing him up, making it uncomfortable for him, not letting him settle into rhythm. Because I think early we saw Sains had fast hands.
Yeah.
He had quick hands when he was able to let them go, when he had time to let them go.
Yeah.
So Derrick looked to nullify that. So yeah, for the early rounds, I think, Sains was just uncomfortable. He couldn't settle.
Uncomfortable.
Wasn't enjoying it.
Yeah, uncomfortable, I think, is the best way to put it, bro. You can see it in his face. He didn't really like it when Derrick would bully him up against the ropes and, they'll be clinching and whatnot, and Derrick's getting shots in and then clinching stuff. He's not really like it. He, I think, wanted more of a pretty fight. Obviously, like I said, back foot, trying to utilize his hand speed and movement. But Derrick just wasn't having it, cutting off the ring really, really well. And bro, I think barring one moment, I think it might have been the end of round 2 where Derrick got a bit greedy. Or was it 4?
It might have been 3 or 4.
It was one of those rounds, but yeah. Derrick got a bit greedy, caught with his hands down, and which is right at the end of the round. Got caught a nice shot, good shot, that wobbled him and rocked him a little bit, but it was the end of the round, so he survived. But barring that moment, bro, Sains wasn't doing much to me.
Yeah.
And that's because Derrick wasn't letting him get his work on.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking to myself, Derrick is putting these rounds in the bank, man. He's doing really well. I did think that, bro, Derrick, he is expending a lot of energy. This style obviously takes a lot of energy and conditioning. And I did think to myself, he is expending a lot of energy. I hope he can keep it up. And I do think towards the back end of the fight, bro, he did tire. But Sains was also tired as well.
Yeah.
They both were tired. But I think towards the end of the fight, I think I started to give Sains more rounds towards the end of the fight because even though they were both tired, he just seemed a bit more fresher. And I think that's fair because, again, Derrick put a lot of effort, especially into the first half of the fight. I think towards the end of the fight, that might have let him down a little bit in terms of like giving some rounds away. It then became, I think, a very scrappy affair, I think. But ultimately, Flows, watching that fight, I felt like Derrick had put more rounds in the bank to be given the decision. Obviously, if it was correct judging.
Yeah.
I believe you felt the same as well.
Yeah, look, even in the middle portions of the round,
Yeah.
I felt Derrick started to get in a groove because defensively he was making Saints miss.
Yeah, he was
making him miss. He was head movement, getting out of range, and
blocking shots as
blocking
well, high
shots.
guard. Yeah,
And it's telling because, like you mentioned, the wing walkouts.
Yeah.
Very loud for Saints.
very.
During the fight, it was very quiet for Saints.
Yeah, pin drop.
Very quiet.
Mhm.
All you're hearing is Derrick fans.
Mhm.
Not many of us.
Not many.
But we were there.
Yeah.
And Saints crowd was quiet
Yeah.
because, and I'm even checking the consensus on Twitter as I'm watching because we'll get into it.
Yeah.
Because while we're watching, there's a big question we're both asking. There's a big worry we both have. I'm checking the consensus on Twitter, how they're scoring it.
Yeah.
They're all saying the same thing. They're seeing the same thing we're seeing.
Saints getting beat up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And look, like you say, towards the end of the fight, you can start to see the fatigue kicking in.
Mhm.
I think from round 7, I would say from round 7, maybe round 8, 9, 10.
Yeah.
That's where you start to see fatigue. And I think he got caught in one of those late rounds as well.
Yeah.
Not
badly, but yeah.
But yeah, look, our biggest concern while watching was the judging.
Prior to even this fight ending,
early.
In fact, we might have said this in round 4 or round 5, maybe. We called this. We said, look, Derrick's probably going to go on to win this fight, but he's not going to win it because the judges won't see it that way. Saints being the heavily favored English champ, undefeated, you saw the support as well. Derrick is going to have to either knock this guy out, drop him, or put in a pure shutout for the judges to give it to him, unfortunately. Because in this sport, we know that the sort of more connected, politically connected fighter, the heavily backed fighter, will always win a decision in a close fight, close competitive fight. So we're watching that, and the final bell has come now. And even though I've given Saints some rounds, I've given Derrick more rounds ultimately. So in my eyes, I said Derrick's won this fight. He's done enough to win this fight. You said the same thing, but we then straight away said he hasn't done enough though, because we know what these judges are going to be on. I know you went and checked Twitter as well.
Yeah.
And they all said
the whole fight, bro, I'm saying, judges, please look properly.
Yeah.
Like I'm saying, you hear me say no.
When
shots are blocked.
Because a shot, let's say Saints might have come close, but it was blocked.
Yeah, I'm like,
the crowd are cheering, going, yeah. And we're like, that didn't land.
Didn't land.
That didn't land.
And I'm saying judges, that didn't land. I'm saying judges, that didn't land. I'm saying I'm pleading with the judges as I'm watching to please see this properly and score this properly.
Yeah.
And like you say, my big worry is that look, Derrick is going to need to stop this guy to make it, to guarantee the win or get a knockdown.
Drop him or something. Yeah.
To guarantee it, because how many times have we said on this pod, we questioned him, like for years we've been questioning, especially British judging. Let's call a spade a spade.
Yeah.
British judging. So that was our big worry. And obviously we get to the end of the fight.
The scorecards get read out. First one was 95 apiece.
Mm-hmm.
And then the remaining 2 overall by the 2 other judges was 97-93 in favor of Jimmy Sains. And we said it. We said, guarantee the judges ain't going to see it this way, even though Derrick's done enough to win the fight. And, listen, I'm like, oh, but you guys are Derrick, he's your boy or whatever, blah, blah. Yeah. You went and checked the timeline straight away.
Yep. I was checking it all fight.
Flows was making, and then he getting and what was the consensus you saw online?
As soon as obviously where they're live, as soon as it hits the people who are watching on TV, the first tweets were robbery. I can't believe it, robbery. That robbery word was out there immediately. Immediately. And prior to the scorecards, people were saying Derrick won this. Saints ain't all that's hyped to be and whatnot. They were kind of killing Saints for his performance.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
So instantly the robbery came out. Yeah. And what stood out for me, to be honest, as soon as I heard 95, I was like, they're gonna try it.
Yeah.
They're gonna try it, because my scorecard at best is 96, 94 for Derrick. That's the best Saints is getting for me. That's the bit.
That's a fair.
I think 96, 94 for Derrick or 97, 93 for Derrick. 97, 93 is what I had it.
Yeah.
But if you wanted to give it 96, 94, cool.
Uh-huh.
Even if you wanted to stretch it to a draw, cool. But Saints didn't win that fight.
Yeah, he didn't win that fight.
He didn't win that fight. So when I heard 97, 93 for Saints, I'm like, you lot are bugging. You lot are bugging.
We knew it though. The thing is, we saw it. It's just a shame.
Yeah.
But Derek, we believe you won that fight, and it seemed from the general consensus online that you won that fight as well. But Jimmy Sains has some sort of backing, matchroom fighter, that kind of stuff. So unfortunately, it was just because it was competitive. He was always going to get that. They didn't want to derail him just yet. Yeah, if they ever want to crash at Jimmy, fair enough, because he wasn't impressive to me, to be honest. But yeah, he marches on, and it's a tough loss for Derek. Real tough loss. But yeah, man, shame, bro. Shame.
Yeah, it's a shame on the sport, really. But yeah, again, we're predicting robberies.
That we can predict robberies. Yeah,
we're predicting robberies. It's not the first time we predicted robberies.
Nah.
So it's a shame that this sport is still where it is in certain elements, because, like I said, everyone with eyes, everyone who was watching, everyone who's not on the matchroom payroll. Because apparently Tony Belly was saying nonsense as well.
Oh, fair.
Apparently Tony Belly was
come on, man. He's matching payroll.
I was reading the tweets. Tony Belly apparently said that Derrick was coming on strong late. So
he faded late, to be fair.
So I don't know, like he wasn't watching the fight because Derrick was in control.
Yeah.
So, and people were giving props to Johnny Fisher. I think he was saying that Derrick's winning.
Yeah.
So everyone who was watching, who wasn't, could see it. The consensus, like if you see Derrick's been retweeting and reposting all the consensus.
Yeah.
These aren't his fans.
Yeah.
These are just people who are watching.
Yeah.
So it's a shame, but at the end of the day, the people can see, right? So yeah, look, there should be opportunities from this.
Hopefully, because Derrick acquitted himself well. He didn't look bad.
Yeah.
Did what he needed to do against a much more fancied opponent. So hopefully that gives him another shot. Yeah. I'd like to see him get another shot.
To be fair, we've seen. It's probably harsh to give any credit in situations like this because who knows how much influence he has. I don't know. But we've seen when other fighters have been robbed, he's given them an opportunity again to come back. Yeah. What's the heavyweight boy who beat Dylan White? He's fighting in Thomas soon. Franklin. Franklin.
Eddie. Yeah.
Beat White, got the AJ payday. Yeah. Even though he lost on the judges. But so yeah. Hopefully opportunities come from this.
Yeah.